Greetings, welcome back to Kadic Reviews. This is the review of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. If you want to know my thoughts on the first one, there'll be a link in the description below so that you can get to it. But on upholstering, in 2009, the follow-up to the first Uncharted game hit the ground running, quickly becoming PlayStation 3's biggest selling title in history, and even through the year of 2009 was declared by some as the game of the year, especially those of the late renowned X-Play. Adam Sessler saying it was one of the best games he had ever played. So, does the sequel hold up better than not only original, but of time? Sadly, people, the answer is no. In fact, it's not just a no, it's a big no. Let me explain something to you. My laws of sequels. This will also apply when we get to Uncharted 3 and when we later down the road get to a certain game known as Fallout 4. When it comes to a sequel, I have this one general rule. A sequel must be better in every physical way possible than its predecessor, while still not having the mistakes of the original. In other words, a sequel must be vastly superior to the point where you don't want to play the original. You have no urge to. It's just like stepping into a time machine if you play the first one. I mean, that superior. And Uncharted 2 doesn't do this. In fact, not only does it not do this, this is the exact example of the opposite of all the rules I gave you. Don't fall into the mistakes of the previous game, you say. Well, same battle with the camera that sometimes picks the wrong angles to reach at the worst possible times, and even causes you sometimes to run into walls or even glitch if you know how to do it. Don't fall into the myriad of adventure film or previous game cliches. Falls into every single one of them. How? Well, it starts with the story. Months after the events of the first game, Nathan finds himself, well, not necessarily hired, but asked by an old pair of friends, Chloe and this guy by the name of Finn, to deal with another mysterious artifact that leads to Shangri-La. That's right. El Dorado down, here comes Shangri-La. And when you know it, betrayals all over the place. How many? 5. And the plot does nothing to disguise these betrayals. They're dead on, wide open, see them coming. On top of that, it seems like throughout the course of the game that Elena and Nathan kinda had the up and outs, only until the plot, and I'm serious now, the plot demands that Elena Fisher return, this time with a new hubby. Which, don't get used to the new hubby. He's practically plot bait as Elena gets. Elena assumes her role once again as plot armor extreme. Trust me, she has more plot armor in the Uncharted series than even Nathan does. And he's got light plot armor. Well, wouldn't you know it, she's on a trail of, get this, an evil Russian dictator by the name of Lazarevich. He's after what Nathan found, a mithril dagger that holds the key to getting to Shangri-La and its secret. Action sequences abound. If Uncharted 1 was more of an adventure game with fancy cutscenes, Uncharted 2 is more like an action adventure movie with gameplay elements. And trust me, it falls into that extremely. The treasures still don't have any relevancy to the plot whatsoever. They're just there for collectathon. They're harder to find. Oh, because more vertical places and more gaps are used to disguise these things more easily. Nathan has an upgraded arsenal, but you won't need it because the pistol is still good. New weapons like the FAL are a nice touch, but still your basic combo of pistol, shotgun, AK, grenade will still get the job done. The fisting combat is made a little easier. Gone is the brutal combo that wasn't in the original game, but unfortunately it makes hand-to-hand combat a button mashing affair. Add to that a stealth mechanic, which, unlike the first game, the second game does a slightly better job in level design to accomplish this, but it can make things that were already butt fuckingly easy more easy, seeing that you don't have to fire a single bullet in some stages. In fact, I'll give you an example. I did the entire level locomotion without shooting a single bullet. That's right. All hand-to-hand combat, all stealth kills, no bullets. Until the obligatory helicopter battle. Which, by the way, you'll be having that twice. As well as a battle with a tank. But don't sweat it though. Death will be right around the corner, often. And sometimes it will be because of your missed platforming. The controls are still somewhat overly sensitive, and sometimes you'll overshoot jumps. Plus, the jump animations still don't flow as well. Nathan can now swing on bars to get between gaps, but that's only a minor add to the climbing mechanic. It really makes no difference. In fact, a lot of what Uncharted 2 is what Uncharted 1 is, but to a negative effect. you're essentially playing the same game twice with no improvements except graphically. And boy, does this game love its snow effects. You'll be surrounded in snow, kind of like how I am at the point of this recording. After all, it's snowing like heck outside my window right now, so I guess I'm in the appropriate weather climate for this review. The game has a kind of Tibetan feel, which it totally nails, but it still comes down to simple and easy to solve puzzles, which, by the way, the plot solving journal still remains in the game. How much so? Every puzzle in the game has a solution in the book. That's how easy it is. It's practically, we don't want you to get stuck armor, kind of similar to plot armor, and it's both equally bad. The cliches, the backstabs, even the end boss, which is a combination of those dreaded QuickTime events with a boring, repetitive boss fight. You have to hit Lazarevich 10 times before he goes down. And not only that, you have a boring run till the game wants to trigger a cutscene to finish the game. In fact, Uncharted 2 is more of an ego stroke of maniacal craziness more than even the first one. As the first one was more video game than movie, this game definitely is more movie than video game. It's 26 chapters long, and for most of it, it's stroking its own ego. None of the characters, except for Chloe, are likable. Nathan has not changed much, although the plot forces some emotional moments out of him. And Elena's tough girl act, well, plot armor sheds her tough girl personality and becomes the damsel in distress. If you've played the game before, you should know when and where I'm talking about. In fact, if it weren't for the music being so good, this would be one of the lowest rated games in Kadic Review's history. Luckily, it dodges this bullet hard, but it does not save it from my brutal axe. This is how not to do sequels. Naughty Dog, you used to be good at this sequel thing. Now you just plain suck. Read the map in the journal at home. If you play this on the Nathan Drake collection, well, you won't have the advantage of that multiplayer thing, which was one of the things in the original reviews that catapulted this game to the highest level. But if you're playing it on the Nathan Drake collection as I am, you won't have that option here. So you'll be stuck in Cliche City. So leave the dagger at home. Don't even take this journey. In fact, avoid it at all cost. There is honor among thieves, but I have no honor for suck. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves gets a 3 out of 10. Tune in next week when I finally close the Nathan Drake collection out with Drake's Deception. And by the way it's going, it's not gonna get any better. Thankfully, It's going to be over. Oh crap! There's a fourth one. I'm gonna find peace in my own nirvana before I lose my mind. See you next time.